Why does it do that? Hello, gamers. This video is for new members and new players that are interested in what it means for static dungeons. So I've done a little research, and here's what you need to know before getting involved in one, because there are some horrible aspects to doing static dungeons in a group. So hopefully we're fixing to go do Trinity Hall, which is in Ferndale. It's a tier 4 static dungeon. And if you're wondering what that background noise is, that's my crow playing. So Trinity Hall in Albion Online is a known static group dungeon. Here's a breakdown of what you should know about it. Type: Trinity Hall is a static group dungeon. This means its entrance is always in the same location, unlike randomized dungeons which appear from maps. Player count. It's generally designed for 3 to 5 players. While it might be possible to solo some of the mobs, trying to solo the entire group dungeon, especially the bosses, can be very challenging and inefficient, particularly for newer players. Tier. Trinity Hall is a tier 4 solo dungeon, but don't let that fool you. It's tough. Its purpose. It's a good place to farm fame and silver with a group. The location: Trinity Hall has a specific fixed entrance in the open world. Unfortunately, specific zone names were not readily available in the search results, but it's a known location for players to group up and farm. Dungeon mechanics and bosses. Mobs. The dungeon is filled with various mobs. While some might be soloable, the overall design encourages group play. I've gone in there with 8.4 set on and didn't make it. uh, Trinity Hall features bosses that require specific strategies based on player experiences. One boss has an attack that will knock you around and can knock you into mines, so positioning is key. Another boss might have an unavoidable knockback attack. Players often focus on taking out the accompanying minions first before focusing on the boss to prevent the I'm gonna beat your butt if you don't shut up. Oh my God, he's being annoying today. Focusing on the boss to prevent the boss from healing or to clear damaging areas. Dungeon entrance closing. For solo dungeons, the entrance closes after a certain amount of time: 60 seconds in a blue and yellow zone, 90 seconds in a red and black zone, after the last person enters, preventing others from entering your instance. However, this does not apply to a static dungeon like Trinity Hall, meaning multiple groups or even solo players can potentially enter the same static dungeon, like the Heretic Cellar at Tier 3 area over between the Crossroads and the Royal City of Limhurst. It's a static dungeon. So general loot. You'll get loot drops from mobs and chests within the dungeon. Chests. A notable point about chests in static dungeons like Trinity Hall is that the first person who opens that chest is the one who gets all the loot, regardless of who killed the boss. This has historically led to issues where trolls or non-party members would follow groups, wait for them to clear a boss, and then run up as fast as they could and snatch the loot out of the chest. Yeah, it's horseshit. I don't know why it's like that, but it's the way it is. So to guarantee safe chests, you either need to be PvP flagged, if you can, like in a red and a black zone, if you go to a static dungeon there. The problem is one we're heading to is a blue zones, so you won't be able to kill these frickin' trolls, rats, whatever you want to call them. Loot. I call them loot whores. Yeah, I call them how I sees them. They're loot whores. They run up, they don't participate, and they steal your shit. So to guarantee safe chests, you either need to be PvP flagged, which allows you to potentially attack other players for the loot, or be in black zones where PvP is always on. In blue zones, players can act as chest stealers without being able to be attacked by the group. All you can do is beat them to it. Have a guy standing there ready to click on that chest and get all the loot and then distribute it amongst the group. You know, yeah. Drop rarity. Item drops are largely random, while higher tier dungeons generally offer better loot. It's possible to find high tier items like T8 even in lower tier dungeons. There isn't a specific boss drop system. Excuse me, my nose. Where a particular boss always drops a specific item, except for certain world bosses. Tips for running Trinity Hall. Form a group. Given it's a group dungeon, it's highly recommended to go with a party for efficiency and safety. You can often find groups forming outside these dungeons. Be aware of loot stealers. If you're in a blue or yellow zone, be vigilant about other players who might try to steal the chest loot. Focus on mechanics. Pay attention to boss abilities and mob placements to maximize your group's effectiveness and minimize damage taken. Trinity Hall, like many static dungeons, offers a consistent farming spot for groups in Albion Online, but understand its unique mechanics, especially regarding loot, is crucial for a smooth experience. So make sure the group you're in, you can trust them to divvy out the loot, you know, in a fair way. Joining a random group and going in, get ready to get nothing. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to do. There's people constantly wanting to run statics just so they can get all the loot for themselves. So, that's why I don't see a lot of people doing them anymore. The critical point about loot in Albion Online, especially concerning static dungeons like Trinity Hall, and the difference between mob loot and chest loot. Here's a breakdown. Now, the question is, so what if you set the loot on your party group to party sharing or free for all? So here's a breakdown how and why that doesn't work. Party loot settings for mob drops. Party loot mode. When you're in a party, the leader can set the loot distribution mode by clicking on their own portrait. There are two main settings: party loot or random loot, this is the default setting. When an enemy mob is killed, any loot dropped, items, silver bags, etc., will be randomly assigned to a party member. Only the designated party member can pick that item up. It will appear colored for them and grayed out for others until a short timer has run out, at which point anyone can pick it up. This is designed to ensure everyone gets a fair chance at loot from mob kills, regardless who picked it up. Free loot. If the party leader sets it to free loot, then any loot dropped by mobs can be picked up by anyone in the party. This is generally only used with trusted friends and trusted guild members who have an agreement to split loot later or don't care about individual loot drops. DPS and loot. For mobs, DPS, damage per second, does not affect who gets the loot in a party. It's randomly assigned among party members when the party loot setting is active. Chest loot and static dungeons. Here's the problem. This is where the loot sharing rule often breaks down, and why static dungeons can be problematic with rats or chest stealers. Chests are first come, first served, unlike mob drops. Chests in static dungeons and other open world chests are not subject to the party's loot distribution settings. The first person to interact with and open the chest gets all the loot inside. Why this is an issue in static dungeons, you may ask? Open world. Static dungeons are open world instances, meaning multiple players or groups can enter the same instance. No instance lock. Unlike randomized dungeons, which generate a private instance for your group when you use a map, static dungeons don't lock out other players. Rats or loot stealers. This allows players, often referred to as rats, to follow groups, wait for them to clear the mobs and boss guarding a chest, and then quickly open the chest themselves, stealing all the loot before the group can get it. Solutions and mitigation. Black zones. In black zones, PvP is always enabled. If someone tries to rat your chest, you can just kill their ass. And usually should engage them in PvP to defend your loot. Don't trust anybody red in there. If somebody's red in the black zone in your area and you're with the party and they're like, oh, well, I'm just in here for whatever reason, they're probably in there waiting so they can steal your shit. And then they're going to haul butt and leave. Kill them. Just kill them. If you don't know them, don't trust them, kill them. Get them out of the way. Don't worry about them. Just kill them. They might come back, but kill them. If you or your group are PvP flagged, red, you can attack other red flag players. However, there's a known issue where players can be flagged for different PvP systems, example, faction warfare, that prevent interaction between them. So if you're faction flagged, don't go in and do a static dungeon. Well, it could work both ways. You could be unflagged, they could be flagged, and you still can't attack them. So yeah. So, example, faction warfare that prevent interaction between them. Even if you're both technically PvP enabled, this can sometimes still allow ratting because one can't attack the other one. Coordination. If you're in a blue or yellow zone and cannot engage in PvP, the only solution is extremely quick coordination with your group to open the chest the instant the boss dies. Quick on the draw. That's why I said have somebody standing right beside it, just ready, just clicking non-stop for that thing to open. In summary, mob loot from enemies you kill. Yes, if the party leader sets party loot, the default loot from killed mobs will be randomly assigned among party members. But anybody outside of your party can still get first dibs on it. So that's why you don't want to use party loot when you're doing an instance. It sucks, but even though it gets divvied up in your group, some a-hole outside your group can run up and just take the whole damn chest. Yeah, so yes, if a party leader sets party loot, the default loot from killed mobs will randomly assign among party members. Loot chest loot from chests in the dungeons. No, party loot settings do not apply to chests. The first person to click and open the chest gets all its contents. So yeah, party loot don't mean shit in a static. This is why ratting is a common issue in static dungeons and safe zones. So there you go on that. That's good to know before we get started on this static dungeon. Okay, gamers. We're gonna go into Trinity Hall. We had to unflag because one of my party members is a member of Britchwatch and we're Limhurst, and you know, you can't heal other people from other factions. So let's see what kind of fun we can have. There's just gonna be 3 of us. This ought to be fun. Oh yeah, this ought to be fun. It says it's only us. Sweet, we're alone. Alright. This is a fun little static dungeon. Like I said, it's in Ferndale. Where's all the mobs? Huh. Where are the mobs? Oh, hell. Wow, why am I so freaking squishy in here? I'm wearing 8.4. Oh my god, it's lagging. Ah, that's too many. Whoa, there goes 500,000 silver in repairs. Damn! Shit! What the hell? This is a tier 4 area. That was stupid strong. Oh my god. See, now it's not worth it. I will not get 500,000 in loot from this. It's already at a freaking negative. Man, that was crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I knew I might die once or twice. I didn't think I was gonna die right off the fucking bat. Shit.